Okay, an air leak on a dirt bike, that's one of the most stubborn things to find, and one of the most stuff that people do not want to happen to their bike, that could happen to their bike, for having an air leak, which could cause really lean, exhaust popping, hard idle, dead spots in throttle response, stuff like that, and just needs to get fixed. And this is a way that you can find the air leak, and hopefully you'll find it, and it won't always work. Here I have a bottle of soapy water, and what you'll do is you'll take this and just spray your entire engine with it. Okay? And then you start your bike, if it can start, which hopefully it can, even though it does have an air leak, it will still start. And if it doesn't start, it's obviously a different problem, but you spray your entire engine, and you start it, and you look very closely, because this is a very different way. It's one of the hardest ways to do it, but it's also the cheapest way. So you spray the entire engine down with soapy water, and then you start it, and you look close, and you gotta find wherever it's bubbling, that's where your air leak is. And I already found the air leak because I didn't use this method, but I used a pressure test, which is where you plug the intake and you plug the outtake, and you get a pump, and you screw it into the spark plug, the head of your engine, and you pressurize it, and then spray it with this stuff, and it'll actually, the bubbles will be more violent, and it'll be easier to find. And my air leak is going to be right down here. I just got done replacing the gear shaft in this bike and put a new gasket in it, and apparently the gasket wasn't very good, and I already blew it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear that off and put some RTV in there temporarily until I do get a new gasket. And okay, so here we go. First step you're going to do if you've already found the air leak, you're going to want to drain the oil and drain the antifreeze. Or not the antifreeze, whoops, the coolant. Okay, now you're going to want to remove anything that's going to get in the way, such as the kickstart or brake. Okay, so now I'm going to want to lay the bike on its side so that I can have easy access to the both clutch and inner cover. Okay, so the bike's laid down. You can actually see some of the oil from the transmission coming out there. So now I'm going to start taking the water impeller off and the clutch cover. Okay, so I got the front clutch cover off, and now I got to get the inner clutch cover off. Where the leak is. Okay, well, I couldn't continue filming the rest of me putting it back together and stuff because I ran out of space on my iPod on storage. So I had to get the rest of the job done, and then I cleared some space, and now I can finish making the videos. But I got the rest of it back together. I got some red high temperature RTV on there, and I put everything back together. I gotta let that sit for an hour, and then I gotta torque it back down. Okay, and then here's the old gasket. This is obviously why the air leak was leaking. Look at that, broken gasket. Horrible, and it's like a brand new gasket too. It's freaking ridiculous. But yeah, so hopefully that fixes the air leak, and I will try to make a running video then. After I tighten that stuff down, and I gotta let this stuff cure for 24 hours. Oh yeah, and then you also gotta put, when you're done, you fix the air leak. I then gotta put all the gas, the oil, and the coolant back in. And one thing I forgot to mention while I was taking stuff apart is to take all the gas out of the gas tank, because when you lay the bike over, it will go everywhere. Now there's a big stain on the concrete. But yeah, here, I'll show a running video then later.